You know what I figured out? I am convinced that a good amount of y'all have cemented your one-way ticket straight to hell in the handbasket with gasoline drawers on and no ice water to drink. Because the amount of devilish and demonic behavior that is being perpetuated, and especially in the media now, especially for the past couple of months, is ridiculous at this point. And something needs to be done. I'm not going to even go into my whole intro or whatever because this is a serious topic. You see, I'm not even fully set up. I just had to do what I had to do because this is an emergency. This is an emergency. What is the state of the world going? Why is it that people are so openly proud, loud and proud, child, to be predators? Why is it that you have people that think that it is okay to mess with children? Why do we have people that think it is okay and there is nothing wrong with grooming a child to be a potential partner once they turn 18? And shit, some of them ain't even waiting until they 18, child. They just going right for the gun. They using the age of consent laws, which is put in place to protect children from predatory behavior, to justify their sexual deviancy and their reprobate mind. And honestly, something needs to be done. Something needs to be done about this. Child. Now, if you don't know specifically what I am talking about, I am going to be referencing two scenarios that have been happening and that have been floating over social media. Now, I will not go into depth about those situations, because there are content creators that have done it, like I said, better than me, and that's not my lane anymore. But what I'm referencing is I can't even say it's growing because it's been here, child, but the growing confidence that some of these grown-ass people, and particularly grown-ass men, have been emboldened to publicly proclaim their affinity towards children without shame. These dudes are literally proud to go after and to be predatory towards these young girls with no shame. No shame. Now, you know, if you do something wrong and you have absolutely no shame in doing what it is that you're doing, now there's no hope for you. Specifically speaking, I am going to be talking, number one, about the Glendon Cameron situation, his alleged predatory ways. And the second thing I'm going to be briefly referencing is the story that's now going around Facebook about a 55-year-old godfather marrying his 18-year-old goddaughter. I'm just so sick of it. I'm sick of it. Now, I don't come on here and spew things like this often. And I don't really let a lot of people know too much about me. But if one thing is for sure and two things for certain, what I am pro, in case you did not know, is that I am pro-tech these children. I am pro-tech these children. I don't have children of my own, but I do understand the necessity to protect the people that are the most at risk, that are the most vulnerable to a lot of negative and nefarious influence, and that is children. And I feel that as adults, we have gotten so comfortable with this individualistic lifestyle that we have lived that we no longer believe in it takes a village to raise a child. We no longer believe in caring about other people. And because of this reason, we are leaving our children open and vulnerable to predators that will eat them alive, because we're so busy and we're so focused on doing our own thing, and we're so busy and we're so focused on being grown and doing whatever we want that we fail to realize that a lot of the behaviors that we are engaging in is opening the door for these children to be abused. It's opening the door for these children to be preyed upon. And this cannot continue to happen. This cannot continue to happen, and particularly in the Black community, to where we have been known, child, to turn a blind eye to predatory behavior. We have been known to sweep predatory behavior under the rug. We know, well, not me personally, but there are a lot of Black people that know predators in their own families, in their own friend groups, in their own churches and congregations, and they refuse to hold these people accountable. These people are allowed to walk around here emboldened and unashamed and unabashed by their reprobate behavior because nobody is putting them in their place, nobody is checking them, and it seems like the law is becoming lackadaisical to this type of behavior. I want y'all to understand something. When the children, okay, the most vulnerable people in society are attacked, it is game over. Once you attack and influence the children with negativity, then they grow up to be adults that are broken. They grow up to be adults that continue the perpetuation of nefarious acts and behaviors. So once you get to the kids and you mess with the kids, I want you to understand that for society, it's game over. I don't think you guys understand the severity of the situation. I don't think you do. Because if you did, the SA rates in the black community would not be as high as they are. The abuse rates would not be as high as they are, particularly in the black community. I know that it happens everywhere else. I know that every community deals with their own level of degeneracy, but the level of degeneracy in the black community really is an issue for me, number one, because I am black. So it would readily affect me because this is a community that I traverse, duh. And number two is because black people suffer the highest rates of this crap. And the reason why the rates are so damn high is because nothing is being done to stop this behavior. These people aren't being outcasted. These people aren't being ethered. These people are barely going to jail. They are being protected. They are being protected. They are being shielded. And if they are not being punished, but rather being protected and shielded because you don't want people to know your business, because you want for your business to stay in the house, guess what? You are continuing to leave that door open for that person to abuse yet another child, ruin another child's life, and then that cycle continues. This is a state of emergency at this point, and I can't keep silent. I cannot keep silent. I can't. These children need to be protected, and you're not doing enough to do that. And as long as we continue to have these predators out there on the streets, it's going to continue to happen. And there are way too many of you that claim that you're good people and that you're good men. But you know people like this exist in your friend circle. You know that people like this exist in your families. And you do absolutely nothing, which is just as bad. So I need to know this. I need to know what side is it that you are on. Because if you are on the side of engaging in nefarious acts, if you are on the side of engaging in predatory acts, and if you are on the side of defending a person that's engaged in predatory acts, let me know right now so I know to stay far away from you. Let me know. Let me know where it is that you stand so I can stay as far as hell away from you because you are an enemy. If you're not making the situation better, you're making it worse. And that's real. That's real. That's real. Now, let me get into the situation with this 55-year-old marrying his 18-year-old goddaughter child. So from my understanding, the bits and pieces that I gathered about the situation, the little girl, her parents failed her. Ultimately, just failed her. Her mama was a drug addict and her daddy wasn't there. So her now husband, who was her godfather, it's been evident that he's been grooming her possibly from a significantly younger age. And now all of a sudden that they decided to get married. I have so many questions about this. I have so many questions about this. It's not even funny. Number one, who in the hell approved this? Who in the hell officiated this wedding? Whoever in the hell officiated this wedding, shame on you. Shame on you. And especially if you knew the relationship between these two people and you still went on to officiate this wedding, shame on you. You should probably get your license revoked. So does morality doesn't seem to matter to a lot of people anymore. As long as it's legal, it's okay for some of you. Because that's how some of you have been expressing your feelings.
Oh, what's the matter? It's legal. It's legal. So what the problem is?
So let me flip the script. Slavery was once upon a time legal. So you gonna tell me that because it was legal, it was moral? I'm sorry, you sound like one of them slaves that Harriet Tubman should have left off of the railroad with some ignorant foolishness like that. Real talk. That's how ignorant some of y'all really sound. That's how reprobate some of y'all sound. Because it's legal, it's alright. They don't give a damn about moral implications. Their moral implications are based on whether or not something is legal. That says a lot right in and of itself. Number 2, everybody in the family that went to that wedding thought that this was okay. Nobody in that family stopped anything. Nobody in the family thought that, it didn't seem like a good idea. Nobody thought that this was weird. Nobody wanted to beat his ass. Nobody, all y'all just decided to, hey, this is a good idea. I mean, she legal, you know what I'm saying? And if they got married when she was 18, that means this relationship was budding well before that. That means he must have been eyeing her from well before. And it's just evident that nobody sees a problem with it. And that's my problem. My problem is that nobody saw a problem with this. Herein lies the problem. Y'all go along with stuff and y'all think that stuff is okay. Y'all don't think for yourselves. Y'all have no moral compass. The moral compass of society, I think, is just gone. Gone, child, gone. So your mama was a drug addict. Now that's a sickness. I'm not sure if she ever got help for that sickness. Your mama a drug addict, so your mama left you vulnerable to this man. This man that I assume she trusted because she entrusted him to be a godfather. And the godfather is supposed to steer you in the right direction. So instead of steering you in the right direction, instead of being a father figure because your father was absent, he decides to steer you towards a chapel. That's not what steering in the right direction sounds like. And then on top of parents, where the hell was your daddy at? Your daddy, it didn't seem like he was anywhere to be found. Even if your mama was sick, even if your mama was on drugs, your daddy should have been there to take care of you. So where was your damn daddy at? Where was your daddy to counteract this? Where was your daddy to chin check this dude for trying to mess with his daughter? Where was your daddy? Your mama dropped the ball, your daddy dropped the ball, and it seemed like every adult around you, sis, dropped the ball. And now it's come out that she has a 1-year-old daughter. Now, I don't know if the daughter is for the husband. And if it is for the husband, child. So not only is she a mother to 1, she's a stepmother to 3 at 18. But that's not even that is kind of the worst part. But the other messed up part about it is this girl thinks she grown. If you go read her Facebook comments and go see the videos that she done posted trying to defend this schmuck of a marriage, this abomination of a marriage, I'm sorry. That's what it is. It's an abomination. I'm sorry. Baby, don't nothing that come out either your mouth or off of your Twitter fingers sound anything resembling the mindset of an adult. The ignorance that is being spewed from this child proves to me you are still a child when it comes to mentality. Now, my question is just, what is your fascination with children? What is your fascination with children? Because now we have a whole sector of YouTube that's telling men that they should get with younger girls as low as 18. And we know even that barrier is a little wishy-washy because they're not ran through. They have less mileage, less bodies, and they're easier to deal with, aka moldable and aka more susceptible to being preyed upon, more susceptible to being abused and primed and groomed for abuse. Because let's face it, a lot of these men who are older don't have a pure mind at heart. They do not have a pure heart. They do not have a pure mind. They just want to inflict chaos. They just want to ruin these girls. They want to ruin the innocence of these girls. And they do so because they know that women their own age is not going to tolerate their foolishness. So that's why they try to go for younger girls. And if you are a significantly young girl, having an older man approach you, significantly approach you, usually is a red flag. It's like, where do we draw the line? It's like we want to rob our kids of their innocence. It's like people want to manipulate these children into bending into their will, and then they use the excuse of, oh, I don't have a gun to their head, so therefore nothing that I did was wrong because I didn't force them to do it. They chose to do it, which is the MO of a predator. It's the MO of a manipulator. They get into your head to make you feel comfortable doing what it is that they want you to do, but then they turn around and tell you that, oh, it's your fault. I didn't put a gun to their head. They wanted to do it. Even though you threw money at them, even though you probably, you mess with their heads. And now you got people out here on the YouTube streets with their channel still up, all smug and whatnot, talking about he understand R. Kelly, and he could have been like R. Kelly too, and R. Kelly was just a victim to his appetite. It was his orientation to deal with younger girls. That's his orientation. You got people out here, sick individuals out here thinking that and outwardly proclaiming that, which is sick, but I'm glad that it's being done out in the open because these people are exposing themselves and it's exposing everybody to what really is out there in these streets and what it is that you need to protect your children from. And guess what? It's not just random people you got to protect your kids from. You got to protect your kids, honestly, from other family members, because that's who is usually the ones abusing them. People that they know, people that they're close to, people that they trust. Something needs to be done. These kids need to be protected, and I'll go to bat for any one of them. Do I have any kids of my own? No, I do not. But there are things that we just cannot allow to be continued. This level of degeneracy has gotten to a critical mass. It can no longer be ignored because this is affecting real people's real lives, and it's creating really effed up people who perpetuate this type of abusive and toxic behavior. This cannot continue. So like I said, I need to know now where it is that you stand on these issues. Because if you are standing on the wrong side of these issues, you need to be dealt with as well. The people engaging in these types of activities need to be dealt with, and anybody else who supports their degeneracy, you need to be dealt with. It's crazy because in every other culture, there is a fine line of degeneracy, and anybody who dares to cross that fine line is banished for eternity. Only in the Black community do we allow degenerates to be intermingled with the rest of the populace. Only in the Black community do we support degeneracy. We have to be making things very clear that if you engage in degenerate acts, and particularly if you engage in degenerate acts that harm these children, not only must you be punished, but you gotta go. And if anybody dares to support these people, you got to go too. Because enough is enough of this shit. Enough is really enough. There's nothing else that needs to be said, but enough is enough. And it's time for us to take action. For real, for real. Because these babies need it. And I'm tired of seeing these babies suffering and growing up into adults who suffer because we refuse to protect them.
Wanna get a thing, girl, I been on it. She been bouncing on it like it's her opponent. I'ma let you in, you gon' feel on it. I'ma let you in, I got 5 on it. Dolo through the city on some big shit. And shout out all my niggas that I came with. Now we all rich, yeah, we own it. Whole team rich, I put you on it, put you up on it.